Welcome back. Well, I spoke about ICICI Bank and Axis. Now you can add Tata Motors to the list as well among stocks that are dragging the markets now. So the Nifty is actually at the low point of the day. Not saying much because it didn't move much in today's trade, but still, for whatever it's worth, it's now clearly off the intraday high and now in fact trading at intraday low. And in terms of individual stocks as well, NTPC is the other stock that has moved. If you see the last 10 or 15 minutes of trade in the broader market, the stocks that stand out, HCC, Hindustan Construction, has also moved. But just about 10 minutes left for you to take any position if you want to still for this series in terms of the 3 p.m. move. Siddharth Bhamre now joins in from Angel Broking. Siddharth, good afternoon. So do you think the bulk of the move is done, and should we expect a fairly sedate last half an hour, or could there be some move either on the upside or downside?
Hi Anuj, a lot of cues or a lot of inputs I've taken from what happened on Monday in this market. When market corrected significantly, there was a lot of call writing which took place in 7800, 7700. As a matter of fact, some of the call writing took place in 7650 call option also. Whereas we were seeing some put writing also happening in 76 and 7550 puts, which clearly suggested that last week of expiry would be pretty dull. But we were expecting move towards 7680, 7700, and were expecting expiry somewhere close to 7680, 7700. Now we are sticking to that view. I am not expecting a significant upside move from current levels because that will ensure that the call writers and FIs were call writers in 7700 would suffer loss. And these guys were writing this 7700 calls when actually market was around 7650, 7700. So they got a premiums of 40-50 bucks when they wrote this call option. We did see yesterday and in today's trading session some unwinding in that strike, but still the open interest created in last week and beginning of this week is substantial on that front. So I am not expecting a huge bounce back in last half an hour. And at the same time, probably 15, 20, 30 points, which is not a big move on an expiry day, can happen on the downside. So barring yesterday, I think this market would be in a very, very tight range, even in last half an hour.
Okay, so the market is in a tight range as we speak. Hi, Siddharth. Good afternoon. One of the big movements this month or this series has been in Tata Motors. It's up 30% for the series and now trading at 380 plus. Do you expect more on the upside in Tata Motors and in any other auto stock as well?
I am a bit optimistic on Tata Motors and DVR also. Reason being, and I'm sure you can throw more light on it, that people are now getting more encouraged by what is happening in US for this stock or this company, rather than what would happen in future in China. I am expecting this counter probably to move towards 405, 410 levels where it can take resistance. We did see some formation of long positions in this bounce back, so it was not purely short covering. But then, if I take a holistic view where I'm expecting the first half of April series to be good, and probably we are heading till 7950 odd levels, where I feel from medium term perspective this market may top out. Don't expect very significant returns. Don't expect same kind of returns what you saw in March series to get replicated in April series. So if you're long, continue to hold on for some more time. But then if you're expecting a repeat of same, then I think you will be disappointed.
Okay, let's get technical check as well on Tata Motors, because it's been one of the stocks of the series. I mean, not many stocks reward more than Tata Motors in terms of positional trades. But Ashwini, from Tata Motors' point of view, do you think there's still some more rally left, both in the stock and in the DVR, which actually comes into the index from tomorrow?
See, Tata Motors has made some sort of a double bottom at 280. In fact, it's a classic double bottom where the two bottoms were months apart. One was made in late September 2015 and the other one was made recently on 16th of February. So given that, I think 435, 440 is very likely on Tata Motors, and then we probably will move even higher from there. So on all corrections, I think towards 355, 360, Tata Motors should be bought.
Okay. Prakash, you want to comment on that? I mean, we've had endless debates on Tata Motors, but the fact is the stock has risen more than 60% from its 52-week lows of, 260 rupees. And we've seen really good numbers come in from JLR in the month gone by. And since then, the stock has zoomed. But how much of that is already in the price, you think?
I think the more recent moves have been more attributable to the uptick in the CV cycle domestically. I think what Tata Motors and also the fact that they had a very hefty defense order for 600 plus trucks recently, which means that the commercial vehicle side of the business will also start kind of revving up. So you have a JLR engine that's kind of taking off, which has taken off. You have those geographies expanding, while you have the domestic CV cycle as reflected by even the Ashok Leyland, numbers or body language that we see from the management. Very clearly, defense is also kind of a new area that Tata Motors could start nibbling into. So minus the passenger car business, everything is kind of working for Tata Motors. And this late correction that you see today is possibly a switch into DVRs by some people because they'll have to adjust the balance with a new entrant, whereas the exposure to the company needs to be constant. So I think it's more of a technical kind of thing. It will resume its up move more from the institutional side, once the digestion is over with the new edition.
Oh yes, the Tata Motors DVR, of course, is entirely free float, 100% free float. That was the first logic that a lot of market cap was being missed in Tata Motors calculation. And that will be removed now. But Siddharth, let's talk about some more stocks. I know you're not a big fan of VWAP moves, but still, for 3 p.m. moves, any stocks that traders can keep an eye on in terms of buy or sell, both in the large caps and mid caps?
Anuj, generally what I do is wherever the open interest is high and the rollovers are less, so there are chances that last half an hour people might rush into roll over their position, and that is where I try to identify stocks which may move up or down. Nifty rollovers are not very great at this point of time. Last I checked 15 minutes back, it was around 54%, which is disappointing because most of the positions were long positions and stronger hands. So if stronger hands are not rolling much of their positions, it's not such a good news. But we need to see power copy figure as well. Coming to your question, most of the large cap stocks or mid cap stocks have shown rollovers higher than Nifty or Bank Nifty. So most of the rollovers in stocks have already taken place, and we were all discussing in last 1 week that how in stock futures people are more active than index. So and market is stuck in a range, so I'm not expecting a huge move in stocks. And as you also rightly know that that usual suspects like ITC, HDFC Limited, ICICI Bank may move here and there to see some index management. Otherwise, I'm not expecting huge moves, Anuj, on the other side in stocks as well.
Okay. Well, there's some news on Lupin. They have gone ahead and launched a version of the Aricept tablets. Aricept is used to treat Alzheimer's disease. So they've launched the generic Aricept tablets in the US. And they say that Aricept had sales of $47 million in the US as on December 2015. So that stock is moving up as well. Any thoughts on Lupin and how to approach it for the long-term holder?
Oh, absolutely. I think since yesterday, with the dichotomy of two different reports coming through, we've seen it bounce back, and we did briefly talk about it, that fundamentally these are opportunities where you could look at acquiring some of these bashed out names, and of course, now that the valuation is also much more reasonable than those heady valuation that you saw about 6 months back for most of the large caps, they will start offering. So any good news is going to start amplifying the the good part of the this thing acquisition. But mind you, it's not across the board. The only two stocks that feature in that list, according to me, is Lupin and Cipla, which are probably well poised to take positive moves to a larger kind of amplification factor. And of course, then we talked about some of the smaller ones that pharma is also kind of seeing. There's a whole shift from a valuation perspective, and when the comeback happens from the FIs, they are going to start seeing a rotation of stocks as well within pharma in a significant way.
Okay, by the way, the Nifty is now headed towards 7,700. It could well actually slipped below 7,700. It's coinciding with that 3 p.m. So it's quite interesting. And pull out the intraday chart of ICICI Bank. The Bank Nifty all of a sudden is now actually down 0.5%. Let's do one thing, but let's move out of Lupin and focus more on markets because we've seen a bit of a intraday decline in a lot of these big names. ICICI Bank clearly stands out. So now trading at low point of the day. Apart from that, SBI is trading at low point of the day. Again, pull out the intraday chart of State Bank of India. That's also nearly there. Axis, of course, is at low point of the day. Tata Motors is at low point of the day. So many stocks now trading at low point of the day. Infosys, it's been remarkable for last 2-3 days. Infosys is going to this level and slipping from there. It's all-time highs. That's acting as a bit of a resistance mark. So consistently going there and slipping back. Sudarshan, what would you make of this last minute volatility? Is this just year-end factor? Not to be read too much, buying opportunity? I mean, how would a trader look at this?
No, I would just take it as the year-end F&O expiry factor, and all markets will go through mild corrections and consolidations. So all of this combined together gives us the recipe for choppiness, which is why we exited all long positions in the morning almost at the best possible prices. And now the idea is to wait it out. For somebody who wants to take a position for the entire series, go and buy tomorrow, not today. And of course, for anyone with a shorter period of market timing, wait patiently. This could be a deeper decline or a consolidation. We'll know in a couple of days.
Okay, just about 30 seconds left for 3 p.m. move. So I just want to focus on that. But before I do that, Ashwini, your call as well on the index. We have slipped a bit. Do you think it's a good time to take a long position for April series, taking advantage of the expiry, or do you think we could slip a bit more in the first half of series?
Well, say from a tomorrow morning type of perspective, this sort of decline should be bought into, because generally the first day of the market is positive, and the Nifty has corrected probably back towards its intraday averages. So if somebody wants to buy, this is a good time to buy, and you'll probably see 40-50 points upside from here. But overall, next series will be a new game, and the trend remains up. So what you need to do is, just keep buying the dips. I think there is more momentum till 7,900.
Okay, there is more momentum till 7,900. Another stock I wanted to discuss with you, Ashwini, is Yes Bank. That stock has been a big gainer this series, up about 26%. And in fact, ever since it reported stellar numbers in Q3, the stock has gone from 670 all the way to 860. If someone has missed out on this rally, does it still make sense to buy into it now?
See, 890 is a fairly strong resistance. It's the all-time high. Given that it remained fairly strong even in a bear market, I think on dips towards, say, 780, 790, I think Yes Bank along with IndusInd Bank is probably one of the better banks to get into.
Okay, by the way, the 7 p.m. move is, the 3 p.m. move is taking place on the positive side. So from 7,700, the Nifty has put on 22 points in a matter of 1 minute. That's the power of the 3 p.m. move that you normally see. And which are the stocks leading it on the upside? Infosys. Again, a stock that we just spoke about on the downside is now taking the market on the upside. So pull out the intraday chart of Infosys. That's trying to pick up a bit. Ultratech Cement has moved up. Tata Motors has moved up from the low point of the day. TCS has moved up from low point of the day. HDFC, a stock which normally is targeted, has moved up from low point of the day. So a lot of these stocks are moving. In fact, as we speak, the Nifty is down only 4 points and could well turn into the green. 77.31 is what we have. Sonia, this is why we don't take break on expiry day at around 3 p.m. because this one big move always comes at 3 p.m. It's the last 30 minutes of averaging, according to which all the contracts are settled, futures contracts, options contracts, and that's why this move becomes extremely important, and that's why I'm not surprised that you've seen a 35-point move from 3 p.m. to 3-2 p.m.
You said 7 p.m. I think you have cricket on your mind. That's the only thing you're thinking about.
I don't know why I said 7 p.m. But yeah, clearly the Nifty has moved into the green actually. 77.38 is what we have. Siddharth, some final comments from you. From 7,700 to 77.38. This, of course, as we all know, is the expiry factor. But how would a trader play now? I mean, how should you take a position in a market like this?
And actually, Sonia stole my words. I was going to catch you on that. That probably cricket is in your mind. That's for 7 p.m. On this front, what I have observed is, as we were discussing, that there might be just 20-30 points downside move, and then probably market may get into a tight range. So we are back to where we were talking, when this show started 15-20 minutes back. So actually, if you see, market has not gone anywhere, and most of the actions from the stock front has already taken place. Index rollovers are not that great. So don't expect this momentum which just started, that market is going to go till 770 or 780. That's not going to happen. This move, which is like you're up by 9 points now, I don't think so we'll be going more than 20 points up from current levels also. So it's
yeah, so that you just have to stop there, because 77.50 now almost on the index, and pull out ICICI Bank's intraday chart, and that's really remarkable. That that is why this time is not for novice traders, because you saw a big intraday decline, and now the Nifty is being carried forward again by ICICI Bank, and that's moved into the green now. So 237.90 now on ICICI Bank.
Also, I just want to point out, Anuj, there's some fundamental news coming on Reliance Power. So I think that stock as well is spiking up now, about 3.5% higher. The Appellate Tribunal for Electricity has upheld Reliance Power's Sasan Ultra Mega Power Project. They've upheld their commercial operation date plea. So what this means is that the Sasan UMPP will now receive 1,050 crores from its procurer. So because of that money receipt, there's a sudden spike up that you're seeing in the stock. Any thoughts on how to approach Rel Power now?
I think this was something that people were speculating, and the same thing is with Mundra and Tata Power, and that's one of the reasons why these power stocks have been so much in that upbeat mood. Rel Power also, my sense is, with most of the weaker assets off the books, it's a much neater, cleaner set of assets that they now sit on. But I would still want to make sure that they do enough to deleverage to the extent that it's serviceable, because right now also their serviceability to service the debt is slightly circumspect. So maybe a couple of positive moves like this could then make it worthy of looking at, not at this point.
Okay, by that. So let's do one thing. Before we take a break, let me take final comments from Siddharth. So Siddharth, April series of course starts tomorrow. We have new stocks in the index, so the index will change a bit. What's your trading range for April series for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty if you have one?
Anuj, two things I'm concentrating on, and I'll wait for Wow copy for that how index rollovers are happening both for Nifty and Bank Nifty. If it is less than 63% for Nifty, then I'll be a bit cautious. Cautious in the sense I won't initiate shorts, but I'll just wait and watch for first signs of shorting this market. And technically, we have some resistance around these levels of 7750, 7800. There are some moving averages which are, creating some resistance. Ideally, best case scenario, I'm expecting Nifty to go towards 7950, 7980 levels, where you would meet very strong resistance, and which we have seen, in recent months, those levels were not breached. And probably market may then either remain in a range or might, correct a bit. So best case scenario is plus 200 points from current levels in April series, not beyond that.
Okay, let's take a break on that note then. Our closing bell money control question of the day is: will India beat West Indies in today's T20 semi-final match? Vote according to what you think, not according to your heart, because we don't want 100-0. We want some responses on both sides. We'll read, of course, the most interesting ones post 3:30.
been telling you, it's been all over the place for the markets in the last 10-15 minutes. In fact, the mid-cap index is now up 0.7%, and there are big spikes coming up in the mid-cap index. Adani Power, just take a look at the intraday chart of Adani Power. There's a sudden move that you've seen on the upside in that stock, and huge volumes getting traded in the last couple of minutes. Similar is the case with Reliance Power. Of course, there's news there, but GMR Infra is also up suddenly. That stock too is up well in the green, and names like JSPL2, all of these are trading on huge volumes. As we know, it is the last hour expiry jig, but by and large the market is consolidating today just at that 7700 mark. But let's get an insight into the dealing room chatter. I don't know if any dealers are left because a lot of people running home, getting ready to go to Wankhede for the match, but Nimesh is here to tell us what he spoke to the dealers about. Nimesh.
Hi Sonia, in fact, though there is a match, but there is an expiry as well, so most of the F&O dealers seems to be at their desk. It's largely been in line. I've been saying for the last few days the dealers were expecting this expiry between 7500, 7750, and it's pretty much playing out on those lines. So pretty much done with. It's more, even in terms of flows, it's largely F&O driven. So nothing much to speak about. But for the April series, there are two major events to watch out for. One, of course, is the RBI policy. So that's going to set the tone for the beginning of the April series, and we have earnings as well. So from an earnings point of view, a lot of at least the experts do believe that it's going to be a weak quarter. So that's not going to be a trigger for the markets to go up. However, after this big rally we've seen across EMs, across India, most global experts seems to be sounding a bit of a caution and expecting not big returns from these levels. So we need to see as to how globals pan out. The flows have been on the supportive for emerging markets, including India. So that's something to watch out for. But clearly, for the April series, I guess the beginning would be, of course, the RBI policy, and the second half would be largely earnings driven. So that's something to watch out for in the April series.
All right, Nimesh, thanks a lot for that. By the way, let's pull out 4 stocks intraday. Eicher Motors to begin with. These are the new Nifty inclusions from tomorrow, and as you would expect, there is a bit of a buying taking place. So let's start with Eicher Motors. Look at that intraday surge in Eicher Motors. Large cap stock, 2.5% higher right now. Bharti Infratel, again a large cap stock. Intraday chart of Bharti Airtel, you'll see almost a similar move. Not actually a bigger move in Bharti Infratel if you see in the last 2 or 3 minutes of trade. Tata Motors DVR, that also is trading about 1 or 2% higher. And what was the next? Aurobindo Pharma. Yeah, Aurobindo Pharma was the next one. That also is now almost approaching the high point of the day. So we'll discuss some of these stocks and more. But before that, Ashwini, it's the BTST time. I'm assuming you'll take buy calls?
See, first of all, we recommended around 77.10, buying the Nifty. So that position should be carried, because I believe the market just worked off the weak hands, and probably tomorrow morning you'll get your 50 points higher. As far as calls right now are concerned, Jet Airways is a buy with a stop of 540, target of 565. Hexaware is a buy with a stop of 260, target of 278. And Petronet is a buy with a stop of 245, target of 262.
Okay, well, those are a couple of calls. By the way, there are many stocks hitting fresh 52-week highs today, and one of them added to that list that has been a big wealth creator in the last many weeks and months is Bajaj Finance. A new 52-week high for that one at 6914, and this stock has moved in the last 6 months from 5100 all the way now closer to 7,000. It's not a small stock by any means, and now its market cap of this company has gone up to almost 35,000 crores.
And it also tells you, earnings matter.
Yes.
Whether bull market, bear market, beyond a point, phenomenal earnings, the markets will always reward. And again, it's a stock-specific market, Sonia. So many stocks now hitting new highs. TVS Motor, Ashok Leyland, while you were on leave, finally crossed that 100 mark and moved on to 105, 106. So really been a strong market as far as individual stocks are concerned, where the earnings have clearly matched up.
Indeed. In fact, Virender is also here with us. He's going to tell us about some of the buzzing stocks that he has observed in the last 10-15 minutes. Virender.
Well, because of the VWAP buying, there are many stocks which are buzzing in the last 15-20 minutes, especially the companies like M&M Financial, Bata, they are moving up. But in the small cap category, if you watch out for some stocks, Lambhodra Textile, this stock has been gaining steadily since last few days. Shirpur Gold up 15-16%, Guinea Silk Mills, Vimla Oil, RDB Industries, Kiri Industries was up 20% yesterday, up nearly 10-12% today. IFGL Refractories, Gokul Refoil, Saint Gobain. Look at the volumes on Saint Gobain. There are over 2 crore shares, nearly 12% equity change hands on this stock, Saint Gobain. So keep an eye on that stock. Chartered Logistics, Shri Raya La Sima High Strength, Taich Industries, New Bombay Printing, Gammon India, Bhagaria Dychem, Tirupati Surgeon, Orient Bell, Mercator, Jyoti, NRB Industries, Supreme Infra, and one defense stock, which is Dynamic Technologies, moving up. Among the losers, you have Prerna Finserv, the stock which has been gaining since last few days, Capital Trust. Cable Kiran is a surprise. That stock is down only 8-10%. Diamond Power, which was up 20% yesterday, down today. IVRCL, Dennis Chem, Eastern Trades, Albert David, Cosmo Films, and Rico India down 5% yet again.
All right, Marinder, Lambotra Textiles actually has come into the list for last 3-4 days. Coimbatore-based company, but that one's looking quite interesting. Mehboob Irani is also with us. Of course, we've been talking to all our other guests as well. Mehboob, good afternoon. We were just discussing your most favorite stock, Tata Motors. You must be surprised by what's happened from the lows. Would you still stick with Tata Motors, DVR, or do you think it's time now to maybe move to some other stock?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not very surprised with the up move. In fact, I was surprised with the way the stock was hammered out of shape, and I heard a lot of people commenting, I would say lose that, forget Tata Motors. And the price was nearly 25% down, and the same people are excited after the stock has gone up, but that's the way the market is. I think the stock has a long way to go if you're an investor. I think the good things, positives again started happening at the counter. Your question, I think, specific to Tata Motors, DVR or Tata Motors. I personally feel post the inclusion of Tata Motors DVR, which you were mentioning just a couple of minutes ago, I think the gap between the two could narrow down a little bit further. But Tata Motors will continue to remain a stock which institutions will favor much more than Tata Motors TVR. So while the gap may narrow down, if it's a big player, I would say stick to Tata Motors. After the sharp run up, if the stock corrects a little bit, I will not be surprised again. But at the end of it all, I think the stock, according to me, I still feel it's among my top picks in the auto pack, followed by Ashok Leyland in the commercial vehicle segment.
Okay, so Tata Motors and Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland sitting at a new high. Prakash Diwan, there are two stocks that have hit new highs today in the broader markets. One of them is Havells. So that one has hit a fresh high today of 321. And the other one, as I mentioned earlier, is Bajaj Finance, 6,940. Totally different businesses, but would you pick either to buy now?
I think both of them are very attractively poised in their respective segments, and the underlying theme is consumption. Though Bajaj Finance qualifies to be a financial services stock, it's actually a consumer stock. End of the day, the more consumption you have of smartphones and affordable gadgetry, these are companies that are going to propel that. And what's very interesting is that Bajaj Finance post last quarter has also started getting into the e-commerce side of the business, which was something which was always supposedly a threat. In fact, they have complemented their own business model with the e-commerce side, and that's going to start reflecting into the numbers when you see in April when the numbers come out. So this whole surge from 6,000 to 6,900 or 7,000 is actually on account of the re-rating, another round of re-rating that Bajaj Finance has got into. Havells, of course, is something that has confused people, but after the Sylvania debacle and the corrective action that they took, it's kind of started showing that healthy reflection of that particular move as well. And this is what happens when you start taking decisions on capital asset building or divesting at the right time. So I'm positive on both of these. There are much more legs to go for each of these stocks.
Okay, just about 12 minutes left for this series. So let's do one thing. Let's ask each of our experts their top pick for the April series. Sudarshan, I'm going to start with you. One stock that you will back for the April series.
While markets can do anything, I would back Infosys. It's going there, coming back, and the IT index is very attractive. So Infosys, like the Nifty, should simply be bought tomorrow or on Monday and held on.
Okay, Ashwini, what about you?
See, Bajaj Finance would be my call because it's hit fresh highs, never really corrects whole lot. I think next you could see probably 7,500 on Bajaj Finance.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Bajaj Finance and the Nifty are going to be at the same level in some time. That's the word coming in from Ashwini. But Siddharth, what about you? We got Infosys and we got Bajaj Finance. What's your pick?
So I'll give L&T and Tata Steel on the short side, and ICICI Bank and Axis Bank on the long side.
Wow, that's 4 stocks, and Siddharth is willing to stick his neck out on shorts as well. So that's interesting. Prakash, what would you bet? Large caps, mid caps?
Yeah, so large cap, I particularly have got back into the FMCG mode, and we've got Colgate Palmolive as one of our new picks. And if you see one of the stocks that's done well in this series, which I believe, especially in a belated way, could continue with that momentum, is Steel Authority. We've seen a huge, I know it's a contra call of sorts, but the mood that seems to be prevailing is a lot of decision making on divesting unrelated assets, and which could kind of help make some of these companies leaner and meaner is going to definitely happen. Even a PSU like Steel Authority could kind of rev itself up. So that could be a fairly surprise move of sorts in April.
Okay, sale, that's something different from what we usually hear. But last but not the least, Mehroon, who's going to be the Virat Kohli of the markets, the stocks?
I think if I was, since he asked specifically on the FNO segment, which is the stock, I would go with Yes Bank and Bank of Baroda. But in the mid caps, we like a name like Clear Disclosure, a name like Cosmo Films, where we believe that current year we will have an earnings of around 50.
Pardon me, I'm hearing this name after a really long time. It used to be a big name in last bull market. 52 to 55 rupees earnings we're expecting this year, which should be at least 67 to 70 rupees next year. And we don't give it a valuation of more than 7 times, considering it's in the BOPP films. And you are right. I think the stock, this company as such, is coming back into proper shape this year because of what is happening to the commodity segment, commodity market. So being a company which ultimately depends on something called commodities, I won't give it a valuation of 7 times. But at 60 rupees earnings next year, 67 rupees earnings, even if you give it a multiple of 7, it's a stock which should see a price of maybe 370 to 400 in 2016 itself. So from the present price of 290 also, I see at least a 30 to 40% appreciation coming this calendar year itself.
Wow, it's already a 300% appreciation in the last 12 months. You want to say something?
So in fact, on a trailing basis also, it's just available at a P of 4. So he's right. It's kind of got ignored. Just like what happened to Quality Dairy, it participated in the bull run previously, then kind of languished for so long and suddenly got discovered and repolished, and it's all over the place.
Yeah, I'm amazed actually. We haven't discussed this stock for the last 1 year, and it's gone up 300%. So
no, in fact, Anuj, in some of our earlier shows, like the shows where we cover a lot of the mid-cap stocks, this stock has been discussed. And I remember the management also telling us that their debt has come down quite a bit in this fiscal by about 20-30% or so. I guess that deleveraging plan has also worked quite well as far as the stock is concerned.
It was mentioned at this very program, I think, with Lata Venkatesh. The price was around 230 at that time, about a month ago, just a few days before the budget.
Okay, Mehroon. Well, that's one more idea. Despite 300% move, Mehroon believes that it's good for more. Well, in terms of some more individual names where we have seen some big moves, let's pull out a couple of more names. Hathway Cable, Bombay Rayon, Lycos Internet, Page Industries. Actually, pull out Page Industries intraday chart. There's a phenomenal move that's taken place. Again, Page Industries is not a small stock. It's an FNO stock. It's a stock which got beaten down a lot. It will be interesting if Hassan can give us the FNO plate as well for Page Industries, because this was one stock where you had seen a lot of shorting. In fact, the futures consistently were trading at 600, 700 rupee discount. It will be interesting to see if that has been covered on the short side, because today it's been a phenomenal move on Page Industries. Okay, this discount has got trimmed to about 150 points. You'll remember that intraday decline that had taken place after the promoter selling, but really the market is smart enough to know now that that was in the past, and now you're seeing a big move on Page Industries. 12,000 of Prakash.
Similar things happened to IndoCount as well, if you want to add to that list. That also got hammered when it kind of made its entry into the FNO segment, and it's kind of moved back into the reckoning. Yeah. So this is very clearly what happens when the price discovery on the FNO side takes a little bit of a while, and that's a huge opportunity for traders.
Okay, in fact, from 10,000, it's been a one-way move for Page Industries, barring that one day. In fact, if you pull out a 3-month chart of Page Industries, certain smart people have accumulated the stock at lower levels, but this move really is getting a bit phenomenal on Page Industries. Ashwini, you have a technical call on this one?
See, Page Industries has gone through a minor bear market, and nothing unusual after a big rally. This sort of profit booking is often possible. I think the stock is looking positive now, and in a good market, you shouldn't be surprised to see probably levels closer to 13,000 to 13,500.
Okay. Well, another stock that you should take a look at right now is Ajanta Pharma. There's a sudden swing on the upside in the last 5 minutes for Ajanta Pharma. It's pretty impressive, really. The volumes may not be that high, but just look at the price pattern now. Back at 1430 on Ajanta Pharma, and all this just in the last 10 minutes or so. Clearly, the expiry-related moves are playing out. Mehruboon, this has been one stock that has created a lot of wealth for investors, and now it seems to be resuming its uptrend. Would you touch it?
I think it's one of the best performing pharma companies, and I don't see any problem of whatever I have seen of this company as far as the balance sheet goes, as far as the performance goes. And quarter after quarter, I think it has always exceeded the expectations of whichever research houses cover this company. Overall in the pharma pack, I think for the last 18 months or so, I think I've been negative. I've been stating that valuations are very expensive, and I've always been stating on your very channel that I think I'm very concerned of regulatory problems, and most of them have been affected. So this, after the sharp fall, is it an opportunity? In some of them, yes. But coming back to Ajanta Pharma, I think it has been one of the more cleaner companies, never under any cloud. Performance was super, and I think I would put Ajanta Pharma, despite the sharp run-up, as one of the top 3 picks of mine, along with maybe an Alembic Pharma and the frontline names, Dr. Reddy's.
Okay, a lot of stocks moving towards the 200-day moving average and surging now. HDIL stands out, just crossed its 200 DMA. 73.50 was the 200-day moving average. It's now moved to 73.80, and that move has been swift on HDIL. DLF is now above its 200-day moving average. Look at the move on DLF this month, actually. It's up 30% this month, so phenomenal move on DLF as well. And of course, Ashok Leyland really has been a stock for all seasons, and today also that stock has made a new lifetime high. By the way, Ashok Leyland is now bigger than a lot of index stocks, with its market cap is now 31,000 crores. It's been that kind of move on Ashok Leyland as well. Siddharth, any call on Ashok Leyland or Eicher Motors, these kind of stocks where we have seen some big moves?
Ashok Leyland, I think the move should continue. We are seeing formation of longs, Anuj, and the rollover is also quite good. This stock has potential to go towards 120, 125 odd levels. Probably there, you can book out. Eicher Motor, I think one should forget about the kind of rallies the stock has seen last year. The stock would more or less move in a range now, and resistances are very near from current levels. So I would not be very active in Eicher Motor on the long side, and neither I'm expecting a big downside also in this counter. 20,200, 20,500 is a strong resistance, and support emerges around 18,000.
Okay, just about 3 minutes left for markets to close. So let's just do a recap. It's been a really good series for the bulls. From the lows of 7,000, the market has gone all the way up to 77.50 and is closing there. In terms of individual stocks, today was IT and Pharma day, led by Infosys. That stock was up 2%, within 11 rupees of a new lifetime high on Infosys. TCS as well, a rank underperformer compared to Infosys this year, but the stock was up today about 1.5%. Sun Pharma was up 1.5%. Dr. Reddy's was up in trade today. Lupin, of course, has been gaining for last 2 days. Apart from that, you had big gainers like Tata Power, up 3.5%. Zee Entertainment, an underperformer in this series, you have to say that. So 3% higher on Zee Entertainment. IndusInd Bank, Lever, Axis Bank, these are some stocks that moved. The market didn't move much though, because a couple of these heavyweights dragged the markets. ICICI Bank clearly stands out. Had a good series, let's not forget that. But towards the end, there was, some profit booking in ICICI Bank. Larsen & Toubro as well saw some profit booking towards the end. ONGC, of course, had to deal with negative news flow. So that stock was down about 2% in trade today. And while Bharti Infratel moved, Bharti Airtel was down in trade today. In fact, that was the biggest loser in the index, down about 2%. SBI as well was down 1.5%. What else? Asian Paints was down about 1%, and BHEL was down about 1%. As you would expect on a day like today, volumes extremely high. We are touching 7 lakh crores and 27,000 crore cash market volume. So clearly, on high volume day, we had decent market participation and really good market breadth as far as individual stocks are concerned. A lot of stocks did well.
Oh yes, and all of that momentum really picked up in late trade. So a 1% move on the mid-cap index. The small-cap index also did well. And you had many stocks hitting new highs today. So it's always good to see when stocks hit new highs, an indication that there's positive momentum from traders and investors alike. Ashok Leyland at a fresh 52-week high. Havels at a new 52-week high. NHPC, Hindustan Zinc, both at new highs. Geometric Software, this has been a very interesting stock. Now 200 plus on Geometric Software and a new high. Remember, just 6 months back, the stock was at somewhere around 120 or so. A couple of others hitting new high, Grasim. You had Bajaj Finance that we spoke about. Canfin Homes, this has been a stock that has interested a lot of institutional investors, and Canfin Homes, you know, from 900 about 6 months back is now closer to 1200. GSK Pharma, Excel Crop Care are a couple of other stocks that have hit new highs today. JSW Steel, can't forget that one. The Lone Ranger in the metal space that has been only moving in one way, and that's upwards. Apart from these stocks, you did have other stocks that gained momentum. A lot of trader favorites, you know, the Adani Powers of the world. Dish TV was up today. JP Associates was in the green. HDIL. So a lot of vulnerable stocks as well moving up. On the downside, you had the selling pressure come into names like Unitech. You had a couple of others like Federal Bank that were down today. Reliance Communications was down about 0.5%, and so was HCC, 0.5% gone over there. So by the end of trade, it's a flat day, but it's been a very good series for the market. So no complaints at all. In fact, the Nifty is holding smart above 7740, and finally the Sensex has its head firmly above 25,000, which is a good thing to see. Mehraboon, you want to take a call on where the market might be, say, in the next 3 months?
I think this 10% rise which we have seen in the last 1 month, I think has surprised a lot of people. And I believe that till the time there is no complacency which comes in the market doesn't give way very sharply. So I won't be surprised if the market continues surprises on the upside. What I'm trying to state is large part of traders as well as investors are feeling stupid, feeling left out, that they have not participated in the last 1 month. All those who have participated are in a hurry to book profits here and there and trying to make some money. In such type of an atmosphere, normally you don't see the markets coming off very sharply. So we could see 100-200 points correction in the Nifty at most. But I won't be surprised if the market surprises us on the upside for some more time, because there is still not much of complacency. People are still not calling up and saying what to buy, what to buy, what to buy. They are still concerned that the markets have gone up 10%. Only when it corrects, I will go and buy. So still the confidence is not yet in the system. Until the time confidence doesn't come in the system, till the time complacency doesn't come, I don't see the markets shaving off or tanking in any big way, unless you have a major negative news coming on the global front, which as of now doesn't seem likely, because US has put off the hike in interest rates, and China, despite the downgrade which happened today, is not much in the news for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, that point is taken. But Prakash, a word on PSU banks. We have seen decent moves. Can we say that we have seen a bit of a bottom for stocks like SBI, BOB, PNB, or could Q4 again change that?
No, I think it's become a slightly stock-specific environment even in the PSU banks. So I won't club all the three together, the largest ones. BOB stands apart as a very different kettle of fish. But come first week of April and 4th, if I remember correctly, is the first working day of sorts effectively in the month. Post 31st March. There's a significant amount of provisioning announcement that could come through from the larger banks like SBI and ICICI, and that was just before the policy day on 5th, which means there could be a little bit of a negative surprise or negative element that the market is yet to digest. I would still give it 1 quarter. Wait for the June end numbers to see whether, you know, the improvement or the clean slate that we are all expecting to start off from is importantly there, and then kind of start buying into SBI or maybe a PNB. But as I said, BOB you could still buy and get away with, because they've done their bit much earlier. So to answer your question, it's still a wait and watch on the PSU bank side. But generally the risk on mood is, as Mehraboon said, it's really on. But till the result season kick in, which is second or third week of April, I don't think there's any let up in the market, and we could see 8200, 8100 easily getting scaled up also.
Okay, well, on that optimistic note, we'll let all of you go. It's only 4 more hours, and then we have that big game coming up. So we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. But also coming up on the other side, Baba Ramdev has come up with yet another marketing strategy.